you very much. Well, if there's any team that knows that, it should be UE. It's not how they started this season, actually. As Salamat gets his second steal of the ball game and draws a foul from Rudy.
Going back to the last play of Ateneo, look at this swing of the ball to the weak side,
Yes.
and then Raba with a cut from the weak side. So looking at the secondary options of the offense, that is patience for you, and that is good spacing by Ateneo.
And that, by the way, is the 5th assist brought to you by PS Bank. Simple lang, maaasahan. 5th assist for Jai Reyes in this game. He has been distributing and facilitating well. There he goes again to Raba. Raba unable to knock it down, though. Paulie finds Singanay. A couple of players actually asking for that ball. Acuna sends that baby home.
Second triple of UE.
This is where you know the UE kind of play. They can come back, and they can come back fast.
They can shoot a bunch of those in a hurry.
Jai, he can shoot too, as he gets it to go and gets that three back from Valacuña.
First triple of the ball game for Jai Reyes, as he's been doing his job of keeping the tempo, controlling the offense, and creating opportunities for his teammates.
8 points for him. Paul Lee smothered by Nonoy Baclao, and a traveling infraction called on Paul Lee. Nonoy Baclao,
That's one of the best blocks you can do. You know, you shove it down and keep him down on the floor and force a traveling.
he is averaging 2.5 blocks in this series. Here's another three-point shot brought to you by Alaksan FR. Body paint kahit saan. Agad talab ang Alaksan FR. 45-31 is the score. Jai Reyes, you mentioned, that's the first triple he's had after 6 attempts. He was all alone begging for the ball, and he gets it to go! 2 out of 7. They left him behind, and Ateneo is looking to drop the hammer early here in the third.
Back-to-back three-pointers for the guy who's hoping to go back-to-back just like his uncle Jun Reyes did in 1987 and 1988.
And that guy could shoot the lights out. He could score the lights out of any Coliseum. Look at this, Open Happiness with his second triple from Jai Reyes and Coca-Cola, Open Happiness.
And I know Jun Reyes has relocated abroad, and I'm sure he's found a way to get to TFC. He's watching us today.
We are broadcasting all over the world via the Filipino channel. And of course, live and exclusive here at Studio 23 and in high definition on Walls HD, Sky Cable Channel 166. An emphatic block. Darkness fell on Paul Lee with that block brought to you by Rexona. Use Rexona after every bath. Get a free collectible Coca-Cola UAP limited edition bottle for every Jollibee Burger value meal with double upgrade of your fries. Coke, be proud of your school.
17-point lead now by Ateneo, the biggest lead of the ball game, even if you're seeing some three-point shooting humming now for the Red Warriors.
Substitution delivered to us by KFC. It's finger licking good. Patty Llagas is back in the game. 6:40 to play. When will we see that bravado that we always see from UE? Great fake by Eric. Set up job to Raba. Raba could not finish. Elmer Espiritu was there to bother that shot. But Elmer looks tired, TJ. Yep. He's lagging behind again. This is how we saw him in game number 1. He exploded for 22 points in game number 2. Most of them from the outside. 7 of the 24. Patty underneath. And again, Baclao there to alter the shot. Up top to Raba. Too high. Acuna. Baclao was waiting, but Acuna high off the glass.
A nice quick release there. Binitawan kaagad to make sure it gets away from the hands of Nonoy Baclao. Still a big 15-point lead. UE needs to make some solid defensive stops, and a bunch of them.
Eric from the corner. Short. The rebound going to Kirk Long. Long. Rejected by Elmer Espiritu. Who averages 2.7. Make that 2.9.
Well, that might be an answer to our question if he's really tired. He could be just pacing himself.
He drives, fades away. Nice looking. Banker. Elmer Espiritu goes window shopping in that sequence. Down to a Baker's dozen lead. Eric Salamat, nobody covering him. Paul Lee trying to recover. Al Husseini short on the 18-footer. 3-on-2 on the other end. Paulie goes to his strong side, slows down, puts it in.
He knows when he can just take it easy and kakayanin niya the smaller guys in transition defense. So that's exactly what he did. Don't look now. Yes, they can squirt bunches. They're doing that right now, down to an 11-point lead.
Timeout brought to you by Samsung. Imagination lives. Back here at the Araneta Coliseum, thank you very much for watching us live on Studio 23, exclusively courtesy of ABS-CBN Sports. Under 5 minutes remaining, almost a completed steal. A traveling infraction called on Ateneo. Now, we mentioned, TJ, in the first half, 1 assist only for UE as a shot block this time, brought to you by Rexona. Use Rexona after every bath. This quarter, they have 4 already.
Wow, big difference there. In terms of UE moving the ball, sharing the ball, and being more patient with their shot selection. And that time around defensively, their press now is working for them. Their half-court press.
And an offensive foul. Lingana. And an errant pass. Was it an errant pass by Patty? He looks at Patty. They're checking each other. First, this tough shot. Elmer Espiritu goes window shopping to cut that lead down. And an assist brought to you by PS Max. Simple lang maasa.
But you're noticing, in that play in particular, you're noticing Rabah Al-Husseini pick his spots when he goes for defensive aggressiveness.
Yes.
You know, he tries to pace himself also defensively.
Long. Another turnover, back-to-back. This is an 11-point lead. C2 best cheer of the day. Enjoy the best in life with C2 Green Tea. In unison. The Ateneo side. 3 turnovers for both teams here in the third. And 4:15 to play.
Foul away from the ball here. Down there, as they were bumping and grinding in those screens off the ball. So that's on Bacon Austria. Second personal.
48-37. The biggest lead of the ball game was at 17. And if I remember correctly, that was also the lead that they tried to chase in the first round, DJ, when these two teams first met. Llagas loses control. Coach Lawrence's facial expression says it all. Llagas, by the way, DJ, 0 out of 7
big
from
difference.
the field after scoring 13 and 18 in the first 2 games. Rebound tracked down by Val. Val had Paul Lee on the other side. Val forces the issue. It's a charge?
It is a charge. Even though he tried to go sideways, he tried to avoid Eman Montfort a little bit.
Couldn't see it from my angle, so here's the replay.
He goes sideways with the left hand. Oh, but Montfort moved a little bit, just a little bit. He moved into him just a little bit. Check out Montfort. His feet are set, but at the last moment, he slides to Montfort, who tried to avoid him.
So it should have been a block.
Tough call, very close to call. Yeah, should have been a block.
Smart instant replay showing that one. My concern there was Paul Lee at the other side.
He was all alone. Could have dropped it out there.
Buenafe finds Montfort. 14 on the 24. Rabah looking for position underneath. 15-footer. Doesn't get the roll. The tap. Who wins out? Still up in the air. Lingana is fouled by Bacon Austria. He knew it.
That's the third foul of Bacon Austria.
Lingana gets it in the face.
But that's, you know, for whatever it is, that's good indication for Ateneo for their hustle today. They're more aggressive with the loose balls.
Especially the guards.
Yeah, the guards, the wingmen. They're more aggressive with the loose balls. They're more aggressive with offensive and defensive rebounds.
Because in games number 1 and 2, you pointed out how the guards of UE have out-hustled Ateneo. As we look at our hardcore heartthrob of the game, there's no substitute. Former teammates and good friends, Eric Salamat, Paul Lee. Brought to you by Silverworks. 3:24 to play, 48-37. Ateneo going for back-to-back championships.
You know, also today, amidst the fact that we saw Rabah with a hot start in the first quarter, he's been missing his outside shots.
Smart instant replay showing this one. Smart, we're helping sports, and here comes the...
There it was. Hard to see what kind of impact there was.
I'm sure, and it's solely unintentional, obviously. And Freddie Lim with us also. Part of the incredible, massive crowd that we have witnessing game number 3. 3:24 to play. Last basket of Ateneo, by the way, as Paul Lee charges. Oh, it's a tap out. Last basket of Ateneo was 7:06 in the third quarter. That was the Jai Reyes 3 at the corner.
The second of his back-to-back threes.
That's right. So it's been quiet so far. This is just down to 11. We say just because it was up to 17 earlier. If you just joined us, Acuna to Espiritu, quarter court 3. That's short. Paul Lee with an offensive rebound, stripped away by Buenafe, and all alone, Rabah Al-Husseini. Slam on Gemma time.
Well, he got away. He was the one who challenged the outside shot of Elmer Espiritu, and Coach Norman allows that. If you challenge a shot, you can break away. Go ahead, get the fast break if we get it, and that's exactly what Rabah Al-Husseini did.
Timeout brought to you by Samsung. With Samsung, imagination lives. We're back here at the Araneta Coliseum. Powerade Sports Drink Hyper Play of the Quarter. Drink up, power up. Sports is what you make it. Look down below as Rabah Al-Husseini now with 17 points, 8 rebounds. Open happiness with this reaction. And Coca-Cola, open Coca-Cola, open happiness. Under 3 minutes remaining. It's a Bakers dozen lead. And a full quarter ahead of us. For those of you who just joined us, Patty, who is 0 out of 7, cannot get himself going. That's a forearm thrown. Not thrown, but the foul courtesy of the forearm by Rabah Al-Husseini.
I'm surprised they did not go to this earlier in the ballgame, especially in the second quarter when they could notice Rabah was tired from a really exhausting first quarter.
They would need this guy, Mark Van Pulme, underneath. Habitat built body to increase body mass. Nico Salva is back in the ballgame. Those are the numbers on your screens. Acuna. Out to Zama. Swing it over to Barry, top of the circle. Hasn't found his rhythm here today. Rafi to Elmer Espiritu against Nico Salva. Very athletic matchup with 12 on the 24. Elmer clutches that one. Forces the issue, plus the foul.
That was a bump from Ryan Buenafe, who helped down, collapsed there on the double team. Oh, but it's going to be called on Salva. That's his second personal foul.
Check out our Hanes pool couple of the game. Hanes, America's #1 brand of underwear, Paulo Teodoro, Chrissy Chu, both from Ateneo. Elmer Espiritu, those are the numbers, 13 and 6. 0 out of 1 from the free throw line. 22 points here in game number 2. And he is averaging 75% in the finals from that area, the free throw line. Misses both.
Legs is a factor for him, really. Fatigue. He's had his spurts. He had a blocker and then a fadeaway, but then looking like he's fatigued now again.
Let's check the numbers, or check the time on Elmer Espiritu so far here in this game. 5 on the 24. In rhythm.
First time we saw him in rhythm today. If I'm not mistaken, that's his first 15-foot jumper for the game.
Barry could not handle the pass. He recovers. We go to Elmer, to Rafi, who hasn't been a factor also here in this game.
They have been negated. Kim, Linkana, and Zama.
Here comes Elmer, trying to give it to Patty. Nothing there. That's a bump from Paul Zamar. Elmer Espiritu close to 28 minutes already in this game.
It seems like it's just been passed on from the UE guards. They were the X factors in game 2. Passed on to Ateneo's guards. They're the X factors so far today.
Jack and Jill, fantastic moment. Jack and Jill Snacks, life's fun here in the UAAP. We always try to invite you to come and watch live because there's just nothing like it. But if we can't, we're here for you here live in Studio 23. The replays in Balls, Channel 34, high definition coverage in Balls, 166 Sky Cable, Balls HD that is, and for all over the Philippines, or all over the world through the Filipino channel. We'd like to say hello to all the Filipinos watching, and I hope you're safe and in good spirits as we look at Coach Norman Black trying to go for his second title in 5 years in 3 finals appearances.
So Ryan Buenafe now with 8 points in the ballgame off the bench for the Blue Eagles.
What a time for them to show up, huh? But there's no other time to show up.
This is the time.
One last game. Barry and Nico in a wrestling match underneath. A foul called on Nico Salva.
And he's trying to brace for the impact. There's Patty really banging hard on him with or without the ball. He got caught with a hand check there. So that's going to be 2 free throws again for Patty Llagas.
And hopefully for him to get his rhythm in terms of shooting, because as we speak, he's still 0 of 8.
Scoreless today with 3 fouls. He was 8 out of 11 for 19 points in game number 2.
0-7, let me correct myself. He's 0 out of 7. Makes his first free throw. 1 point for the graduating student of Coach Lawrence Chongson, Patty Llagas, whose numbers we've seen increase every year in the UAAP. 13.8 coming into the finals, 9.1 rebounds. That both are career highs for him. Season 72 numbers for Patty Llagas.
Lead down to 15. If you are UE, you'd want to bring this lead down to less than double digits to end this quarter.
You're right. Because it's going to be mentally and physically exhausting to come back in the fourth with this crowd, with this atmosphere, and with what's at stake.
And with this kind of an experienced crew from Ateneo.
Three taken by Jai Reyes. Third ball game. And the biggest lead now established at 18. 57-39. They're looking to break the backs of UE as early as now, TJ. Elmer to the other side.
And they've come far and few, those highlights for UE.
And the minutes that they played, you know, DJ, that's another concern. If you're going to make a comeback in the fourth quarter, the minutes that they will play. Jai begging for possession on the other side.
Wide open.
After shooting nothing in the first half, Jai is 3 out of 3 in the
Look at
third
the
quarter.
pass. Oh, almost got it to go.
UE lagging behind in transition. 12 on this game clock. Patty Llagas underneath. Could not get the call and could not get the shot. 2 seconds remaining. The steal by Paul. He pitches. Whoa!
Oh, man.
And not even Luck is smiling. Lady Luck is not smiling on the UE Red Warriors. Ateneo looking to put them away. A sweet 16-point lead for the defending champions at the end of 30 minutes of action. We will be back. We're back with you, folks, for the last 10 minutes of Season 72 of the UAAP. And Ateneo looking for back-to-back titles. They're up by 16. And the UE Red Warriors hoping that they can come back, show a little heart and will to come back as they make a defensive stop here to start off the fourth. It's still very manageable if you talk about the time. 30 seconds only gone by here in the fourth.
But the difference is, if you look at the lethargicness of UE, you did not really see the spark a little bit. You saw a little bit at the early part of third quarter, wherein they scored 16 points compared to Ateneo 17. It just has not really been there all game long for UE.
What about Jai Reyes, huh? Scoring again from the corner. Crucial there was the 8 points only in the second quarter by UE. Very explosive team, only scoring 8 points in the second. 59-41. Acuna will try his hand at a 3. That's short. Acuna, Llagas, Linganay, Reyes are 3 of 23 out from the field. No, make that 3 of 24 after that shot from Val Acuna.
And remember, we've been saying, even in their loss in game 1, and more so in game number 2 in their big win, they were the major factors that were doing a lot of things for UE, not just the points, but also the hustle.
Elmer Espiritu with an Alaksan FR power fast rebound. Body paint kahit saan. Nagtalabang Alaksan FR. Jai Reyes, 0 out of 5 from three-point area in the first half. Now 4 out of 4 in the second half. Let's go to Tiff Atendido for UE now.
Boom, we have beaten Ateneo last Sunday, and we can surely do it again this time. Stay close to us the ball and pressure him. Treat this quarter as the last few minutes as the most important last of your life. They're just waiting for us to make a mistake, so do not give them that chance. There is no more tomorrow, and we all want this. You have been improving every game, and this is the perfect time to explode and go all out. You can do it if you want to. Anything can still happen. Lady Luck may not be smiling at us, but the Warriors are still very positive to steal this game from the Blue Eagles. Boom and TJ.
Thank you very much for the Samsung courtside update. Offensive rebound by Nonoy Baclao.
And it's not going to be easy for UE since they're playing small ball once again. Elmer Espiritu taking a breather, while Acuna is now moonlighting as power forward together with Parrillagas.
Patty has not made a field goal yet. Draws that foul from Raba Aluseni. All his points coming from the free throw line. Let's go to Jessica Mendoza for her version of a Samsung courtside update.
Boom, Coach Norman Black repeated his warning to the Blue Bulls not to waste their shots by taking care to set up their play once they push the ball as far down the court as possible. He added that they ought to take advantage of the Warriors' fouls and attack as hard as they can. But much more important than offense, Coach wants the paint shut down. We're not going to win this game without defense, I'm telling you now, he said. This was a statement followed by Coach Sandy Ares-Pacochaga. Kahit di tayo makashoot agad, basta di sila makashoot. Boom and TJ.
Thank you, Jessica. Remember, they were outscored 44-22 inside the paint in game number 2. As you look at Elmer Espiritu, you're sure to come back a bit.
He should be taking a breather, but he's standing up on his seat. I guess he can't take the stress and the anxiety.
I'm sure.
So he's just sit down and watch his team.
By the way, let me just add that those are the last reports also of Jessica Mendoza and Tim.
We don't go overtime.
Yeah, for the fourth quarter here in season 72. Congratulations and great job for both Tim and Jessica. I'm sure your schools very proud of how you represented them here for ABS-CBN Sports. That's a traveling infraction called an Eric Salamat. 7:21 remaining here in season 72, at least in regulation. As we look at an Alaksan FR 3-point shot, body paint kahit saan. Agad talab ang Alaksan FR. Acuna with 8 points. You know, it concerns me if you're, again, looking at the numbers for UE, nobody has made it to double figures yet except for Elmer Espiritu. Now this is a team that had 4 players averaging in double figures going into the finals.
That's right. It's an excellent
The
point.
only team that actually did that. And even in games 1 and 2, they had at least 3 scorers as Eric Salamat navigates his way through traffic and puts it up and in.
And we're going to see an early timeout by Coach Lawrence Johnson. Not want to give up yet, as Eric Salamat saying, looks like we're going to be coasting here in the fourth quarter. Will UE allow that? That's the question.
Timeout with Samsung. Imagination lives. Back here at the Araneta Coliseum, we are 6 minutes and 56 seconds away from the end of season 72 of the UAAP, and Ateneo with a commanding 18-point lead. Parrillaga still looking for his first field goal. Great defense by Raba. Rafi from 16, short. And a chase down by Ateneo. Body language is not looking good right now, DJ.
So if their outside shots are not falling, you know, they did that in game 2, but they went to the inside and drove. We haven't seen a layup from Rafa yesterday. We haven't seen a drive from Rudy Lingganay today.
Right. And partly that's also because really Ateneo stuffed it up inside.
Absolutely. They've done a better job of defending the perimeter.
Compared to game number 2, where, as you pointed out so clearly, Ateneo gave up a lot of easy layups.
It looked like they rolled out the red carpet for some layups for UE in game 2.
53 starter points for Ateneo, only 29 for UE. And 38 points in the paint for Ateneo, 22 only for UE. Acuna trying to chase it down. Baclao takes it back. 4 on the shot clock though. Eric takes a peek, puts up the shot.
That would have brought the house way down if that went in.
Coach Lawrence Johnson there, featured at our Greenwich Paris Sobrang Cheesy Moment. New Extreme Cheese Pizzas for men, meeting for the boys. This was during the introductions of the starting 5s, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Baclao and Kirk Long here. Baclao also playing in his final game in college, and for the UAAP at least, as there is still the Philippine Collegiate Championships. And Patty just has not gotten any space from Raba today. 5:22 remaining. A lot of dreams will be coming true after 5 minutes. Some will remain unfulfilled for some players. Jai sets up Raba. Fly-by move, loses the possession, puts it up. And Paul Lee there to gather the rebound. Picking up scraps. Sends it to Lingganay. Lingganay uses his body to protect the ball. Draws a foul from Eric Salamat.
Well, they have the right thing in mind. Attack and attack quickly. Even if they don't have the numbers, they gotta have to bring those points up in a hurry, get those defensive stops.
Substitution delivered to us by KFC. It's finger looking good. Elmer Espiritu now last ditch stand, probably.
He got a really long rest of about 5 minutes. He didn't play the whole fourth quarter yet. So we got a solid 5-minute rest from Coach Lawrence Chongson.
18 points, 5 minutes, TJ. Your thoughts?
He's at 18 points.
No, I mean, if we do the math now.
Yeah, tough. It'll be really tough. But if there's a team who can do it, UE can. I mean, if they just hit a barrage of three-pointers, just hit them in a row and get some defensive stops. But the problem is, Ateneo, this will probably be for Ateneo to lose if they lose this lead now, because they're going to have to play not smart. They're going to
way sloppy.
Yeah, exactly. Sloppy and hurry too much. If they're going to be patient, take care of the ball, and still take good shots, I think they can work this clock well enough with this lead. We'll see what happens.
Eric Salamat sets up Baclao. Linganay called for the foul. One of those players graduating also his 4th personal foul. Here's the strip job, or the strip attempt on Nonoy Baclao. Caught in our smart instant replay. We're helping sports.
Linganay couldn't do anything else but to hack him from behind. You know, we mentioned at the end of the third quarter, coming into the fourth, what UE will have to contend with is not only this big lead, but going up against a veteran, experienced crew who has won a championship before. They've played in moments like this before. They know how to close it out.
You know, like I always say, the discipline of those championship teams to bounce back after losses. They lost big, 20 points, but now they're leading big.
It's erased from their memory. It's totally erased from their memory. They lost by 20 points. It's not a demoralizing issue at all today.
Especially with the way they started this.
Right.
We have them. Close to 19,000 people here at the Araneta Coliseum.
Rudy Linganay will foul out of this ball game.
His 5th personal foul, and that's it for him in his collegiate career. He doesn't realize it. He just realized it now. And that's his UAAP career.
All the effort he poured out today, not as effective as games 1 and 2, but he gave it his all. So Parillaga's come back in the game.
Coach Lawrence Chongson, regardless of the outcome of this game, a stupendous job, an incredible job.
Nothing to be ashamed of for UE at all for this whole year.
But with 4 minutes and 17 seconds left, they have to start getting stops, and that will not help.
He has just owned the paint today. 20 big point lead now by Ateneo. As Rabal Hussaini did not make a living from the perimeter today, but he's shown that he can still dominate the inside.
UE now forcing 3-point shots in this game. Paul Lee off to the right, ends with a left-handed shot. They need more of that and more stops. Backcourt points, Ateneo with 30, UE with 18.
That's a big difference today. Huge difference today.
It is Salamat against Acuña. He's trying to milk as much time from that clock. 7 on the 24. Buenafit. Baclao able to put it in.
Get that basket, put it back up to 20-point lead, and they hit that. 2 seconds left in their shot clock, so doing a great job of milking the clock as much as they can.
And UE is staring at the barrel right now. 69-49, the biggest lead of the ball game. Back here at the Araneta Coliseum with 3 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. Paul Lee able to get it off the glass to cut the lead down to 18. It is 69-51. 2 minutes and 49 remaining. Jai Reyes really been spectacular in the second half.
He's been huge today, not just the points. I mean, he's found his range. He has 3 3-pointers today, but he's really controlled the tempo for Ateneo and kept it under control. Look at the big block from Ryan Buenafit.
Another emphatic block and another big guy running at the other end. Let's see what the call is. It will remain with Ateneo. Ryan Buenafit. He also from San Sebastian Well, that time, he couldn't stop the Paul Lee incursion. Alaksan, power fast. Body paint kahit saan nagkatala ang Alaksan FR. 15 on the shot clock. Salamat pulls up. UE Red Warriors 2 minutes and 15 seconds away as Elmer Espiritu misses this one to take free throws courtesy of the foul from last year's finals MVP.
You know, another stat that Ateneo's owned today, as you see this big block by Ryan Buenafe, learning a thing or two from Nonoy Baclao.
Nowhere to go. Caught in our Smart Instant Replay. Smart, we're helping sports.
Another stat that Ateneo's owned you today, they've turned the tables around in the turnover category. In game numbers 1 and 2. Even in their games that they won and they lost in 1 and 2, UE has been good at taking care of the ball, and they forced Ateneo to more turnovers. Today, it's been the opposite thing, and that has been a big factor also for Ateneo, especially if UE's been trying to get back in the game. They just haven't been able to force those turnovers.
69-52 is the score. Game 1 winner has won the series 3 out of 7 times since the Final Four format was instituted. Last 2 minutes brought to you by PS Bank. Simple lang maasahan. The last 2 minutes of season 72 of the UAAP. The gunslinger from Ateneo, Jai Reyes, misses that one. He finally missed something here in the second half. Val Acuna from the corner rattles out. Will this be another chapter in the story heartbreaks, in this list of stories of heartbreaks for the UE Red Warriors?
Although I don't think it'll rank as high up there as
Yes.
the years that they were really favored to win it all.
Yes, yes,
I
I
mean, there were a couple of years that they won in the preseason tournaments. There was one year they swept it all the way and
that's
lost
right.
2 games against LaSalle in the finals. They were not pegged as favorites this year, but they sure as, you know, proved their worth of being a finalist so far this year.
We'll get back to that point in a bit. Timeout with Samsung. Imagination lives. Back here at the Araneta Coliseum with a minute and 24 remaining here. Paul Lee will take 2 free throws. You know, going back, DJ, to that point that you were making, you know, it's a list, it's still a list. It's part of the list of heartbreaks as Eric Salamat now leaves this game. 5 fouls. Better showing for him in terms of his all-around game. As he hugs his teammates.
7 points.
He's hugging the 2 players who are graduating. And that's, of course, Raba and Jai. But to just go back to that point about heartbreaks, you're saying this is not as big, obviously, because they weren't expected to be here. And Ateneo was favored all the way. I'm sure in their hearts, they knew they could win the finals, so in their hearts, it's still
They
heartbreaking.
believed they could beat Ateneo, and they saw that even in the close loss in game number 1, where they hung in all the way. And that's what carried their confidence in game number 2 for the blowout win.
To add to that, just to an interesting stat here, an interesting factoid. Since the year 2002, the team that won the title has beat UE either in Final Four competition or in the finals. So the teams that have been champions since 2002 have beaten UE in the finals
The last
Final
6
Four.
seasons.
Well, remember, Coach
Maybe
Ron,
it's some sort of a charm.
now remember, Coach Lawrence Shongson, one of his motivations for this year to bring that title to UE, other than that whole drought thing, is the fact that he said he wanted, in his words, maiba naman.
Yep.
Maiba naman. Dahil na-dominate na ng Ateneo, Pasal, FEU, nakasingit ang UST in 2006. He wanted one for himself. This crowd of almost 19,000 ready to explode, or at least the side of blue ready to explode in a minute and 7 seconds remaining as the writing is already on the walls, so to speak, and we are 67 seconds away from back-to-back championships for Ateneo, and for the UE Red Warriors, they will have to wait again another year, add on to that 24 years.
But nothing to be ashamed of for them. They should keep their heads up high, as they made a great run this year. You know, odds were against them in the Final Four alone, having to beat the FEU twice in a row. And by the way they did it, although of course,
spectacular fashion.
of course, people will argue it was an FEU without their leader, Andy Mark Maroca, but then again, the way they did it and to do it back-to-back is still not easy.
Oh, yeah.
By whatever you say.
PJ, if you were a coach, would you pull out Paul Lee, Elmer Espiritu, Karel Llagas, or maybe not Paul Lee, but the graduating students?
Probably, yeah, to give them their, the applause from their fans.
Rafi Reyes, as was not a factor. Game 3 for the UE Red Warriors. Nothing to be ashamed of. It was an incredible run to the finals. Bucking every single odd, exceeding every single expectation, except for themselves. I'm sure they, again, expected to be here in the finals. 8-game winning streak. And they dealt Ateneo a loss here in the finals, game number 2, an emphatic one at that, which set up the sudden death match. But really the factor here, as Paul Lee knocks out the 3, I believe, and we'll go back to our pregame, is that experience factor and the composure of Ateneo, the discipline that comes from the experience.
It's very, very key today. They did the little things that they had to do. They did the little things that they had to execute, played much better defense, played much better in terms of the hustle from the guards, and that all was stemming from the heart, the desire, and that composure, which comes with experience of winning a championship before.
Tears are going to flow now from the UE